Welcome back to another video. As you can tell, I'm doing things a little differently, a little more editing. And today's video, obviously, Lando, the new one, Wave 13, number 65. So I'm excited to do this one because I've been waiting for this figure for a while now. I thought he looked really cool in the trailers and everything. And the design they did, Hasbro did, was really cool. And most of you already know I didn't like the old Lando figure. It was not well made. The articulation was really bad. So yeah. Boom. Box. You know, the usual box. Nothing too fancy. I'm gonna read this one just because it's different than the older one. Smooth and sophisticated Captain Lando Calrissian stands ready to retire from the life of smuggler and instead become a full-time gambler, or sportsman as he calls it, suffering from card game... Wait, I can't see that through the viewfinder. Shuffling from card game to card game across the galaxy. That's a good picture of him. So the box, boring. Nobody cares. Oh, there he is. Here at the nasty table we have the new Lando. Come on, focus. So, things to talk about first. We have a new articulation on the neck. This is more like what you find on 12-inch figures, as most of you know, probably. It moves a lot better, it articulates better, you can do a lot more things like, hey Han, you're a loser, and that's awesome. Usual Black Series articulation in the shoulder and the arm, nothing strange there. He's got some nice cuffs, but they do restrict some movement. You can twist, but you can't really go back and forth, right? Moving on to the chest. Now, I've complained about this a lot in the old Lando, and just in general I complain about these because a lot of the time they don't. But this one actually goes pretty smooth. And let me show you what I complained about in the last video. So, first of all, it just does not look good like this. It looks goofy to me, especially since I can see up through that. Then on top of that, you get big gaps because it's not a flat joint like this one, where there's a lot less you can see. It's just put together a lot better. So obviously that was a huge complaint with the old Lando. Now with the new Lando, you do get the same old hip joints, the bevel. You get this knee movement, which I'm not a big fan of because it doesn't look that great. But it works, I'm fine with it. He's got a holster with a non-molded belt, and he's wearing some nice boots. So let's talk about this head sculpt. So I showed a whole lot of love for this head sculpt. I think they did it perfectly. Even skin tone was perfect on him. Yeah, I love the sculpt on this one, and I love the sculpt on this one. Let's take a look. So there is a lot of detail on this, if you can tell. Everything. You know, his eyebrows aren't just painted on, they're molded on, and then they're painted. The nose is great, the mouth, the chin, the hair is good, sideburns, and even has some molding on the neck, and that looks great. Does this help? This helps. and he catches shadows pretty well, so it looks pretty good. The paint job on the face is freaking amazing. The eyes are a little wonky, but that's to be expected. So overall, I think he looks like a great X-Men character, and I can't wait to see what his mutant powers are. Now it's time to talk about accessories. So, first of all, I want to talk about the cape. It's a significant upgrade from this one, the old one, for older Lando. This is pretty stiff and hard to get poses with your figure with that one. This one is thinner, a little more flexy, and there's a lot more detail in the collar. Looks great. So that's a win. That's a plus. We also have a tie of sorts, a Star Wars sort of ascot tie or something. It looks cool on him. It's a fun, interesting accessory. I like it. And here's his gun. I didn't realize this until I started filming, but that comes off and goes on. It's I guess a silencer for his blaster. Not a whole lot of detail on this at all, which kind of sucks. I really doubt it looks like this in the movie. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. It's just painted silver. Lame. So the holster is pretty interesting. Not a whole lot to it. It just kind of, everything just slides in, almost, kind of. If this gun wasn't misshapen, but just a second. So, that's how that sits in there. Pretty basic. Almost like he doesn't really have to have a holster. They just put it on for you. So you had somewhere to put that. And yeah, that's Lando. The new Lando, that is. So, my thoughts on this guy. Extremely well done. They're changing head joints. Even that joint's different. And the posability is way better. There's a lot more things you can do. So, yeah. So yeah, that's just my review of that. Obviously there are more issues with this. Some of the most important ones are the gun doesn't fit in his hand properly. The gun fits in his hand properly. We also got, I thought was one of the worst little accessories you could get for Lando. I mean, yeah, he uses it in the movie, but that's gonna get lost. And it's, I don't know, I don't think much of it, but the blaster for the original is way better too. It's just a toss-up, really. I love both of them. They both have really good sculpts, but he's definitely my favorite. And he's also my favorite out of the new wave, so I'm glad I grabbed him when I did. I can't find him anywhere else now, so I don't know if he's going to be one of those hard-to-find figures or not. But I did grab a Jawa, and I'll do that review next week, maybe. So that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching.